Hi, this is Nasya,
And this is Kristin.
and welcome to Maison Minute, the virtual edition. So,
Quarantine.
quarantine edition. So many of us are homebound right now and working from home. So we thought that we would give you a little bit of a lighter kind of Maison Minute today, and as part of our mug series. And we're going to be talking about some of the shows that we're watching right now. Are they good? Are they bad? Do we recommend them to you? And what we'd actually really like to see make a comeback. So Kristen's going to start.
So, lots of binge watching over here. So, started off the binge watching with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I've heard raves, people raving about this show. And, we started to look at it, and it's really good. We've kind of stopped at the beginning, I think, of the third season right now. So that's the first one. So highly recommend it. Not for kids. The language is a little rough there. So she's a comedian. So hilarious. Another thing, I love true crime. So I am watching, kind of binge watching a little bit of Psych, which is fun.
Yes.
And
my husband loves Psych.
Huh?
My husband loves Psych.
Yeah. So I've gotten actually my goddaughter into the teenager into Psych as well. She's like, it's my favorite show.
Wow.
So I know. It's funny because it started a whole discussion about, did you guys have email back then? They had email in 2006. Or I was like, you know what? We're not going to do that right now. I know. And then also Monk, because Tony Shalhoub, who plays the father on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, plays Monk. So started watching Monk also. Third, I'd seen this already like a few weeks ago, but I wanted to see it with people and get commentary. So Love is Blind on Netflix is amazing and horrible. All this. So it was so fun to watch with people who had never seen it before and get their commentary, the male perspective and the female, the woman perspective. It was so fun. So
what did the men think about it?
Basically, like what I thought a lot of times in terms of, oh, this person ain't serious. Oh, he don't like her. Like, yeah. So, but they were just like very quick to kind of pick up like what was going on. So that was good. Because like I said, I was like, a lot of good discussion topics rise from this stupid show.
Okay.
So, so that was awesome. I'm also very excited about something that's dropping today on Netflix, which is Uncorked, which is a movie about a young Black man whose family owns a barbecue. Yes. But he wants to become a master sommelier. So I am looking forward to watching that. That will be my evening movie tonight.
Oh, we should probably mention too what platforms all of this stuff is available on.
Yes. So the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Monk, and Psych are on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And the Uncorked and Love is Blind are on Netflix.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a good roundup for you.
I know, it's kind of elevating because I went right back down to trash and I'm back up. Quality movie.
So for me, my taste runs the gamut. So I do not pass judgment on anyone because I love everything about documentaries, historical documentaries, but I also watch reality TV. So
he has me watching 90 Day Fiance, y'all. Mm-hmm.
Don't judge what you do not know. So one of the best things that has happened is my love of reality television has finally met my love of documentaries. And it comes in the form of The Tiger King, which I know a lot of
God, I've been hearing so much about that
on Netflix, and a lot of people are talking about it. I even hesitate to describe it because it's just this wild ride, and it's over, I think, about 7 different episodes that they have.
Okay.
But I kind of watched a couple straight through, episode by episode. And it's about this guy who owns a zoo with these big cats, these tigers. He's very into this. He's an incredibly huge personality.
Okay.
And it all ends with him going to jail for trying to put a hit out on this anti-conservationist. I mean, every single person, yes, and it's a documentary. So every person in this documentary is just bigger than life. Everybody has this massive personality. I mean, there was whole things about the anti-conservationist, about her husband disappeared and has never been heard from again. And then they had this whole thing. There were polyamorous relation. I mean, it was just ran the gamut.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So anyway, this is not for children or for people.
I don't know if this is for me. Like,
Right. For people who are easily shocked. This is a very, very I'm not even gonna say serious because it's not. It's just wild. Anyway, so the other thing that I'm watching, and Tiger King, I think I mentioned, was on Netflix. The other thing that I was watching is I love Ken Burns documentaries. So see how I go from one extreme to the next. So I love Ken Burns documentaries, and I'm trying to catch up on country music. So that was actually on PBS, and it was amazing because you just don't realize all the roots of country music. And there's inspiration, not just, I always thought country music came from like Ireland and England, but there's so many roots here that, and they come from jazz and blues. And you also, add in classical. So that, I'm a big nerd when it comes to all of his documentaries. So I love Ken Burns documentaries. And then he also has a documentary on Netflix about the Vietnam War. I've been kind of struggling to get through that one because it's really, really heavy content. But I really liked it because because it doesn't judge. It just sets up what happened, and they have all points of view. So I really, really like that because they even talk to people who were part of the Viet Cong and things like that. So that one I highly recommend as well. And I haven't even gone through it all. Yeah, those are really good. And of course, I really love Luther. So I just go back to watching Luther when I kind of want to see Idris Elba.
Idris, feel better.
Right. Idris, we love you. So that is another one because he's such a complex character. I love complex characters. So I also wanted to talk a little bit. So that's my sort of list. And I kind of wanted us to talk a little bit about ones that I know we've both watched. And I'll probably bring up the one that we have most feelings about. And that is the inspired kind of life of Madam C.J. Walker. And it's on Netflix. And I think it's called Self-Made.
Yes.
And so I felt as if it was a good series. I kind of wish that it was just one long kind of show, and as opposed to episodes. Yeah. But I will say I did like it. I think that because we have both discussed what the actual historical kind of references for Madam C.J. Walker and also for her nemesis, I would say, on it. So we know where those roots are coming from, and they really do differ from what actually really happened. Yeah. So I think that's where some people might have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, so that I felt, they changed her name, but I still felt like they made her into like a cartoon, a Disney villain. Like it was so extreme and dramatized. I didn't care for that. The thing that I did like, I love Olivia Spencer. I think she's amazing in anything. I thought Garrett, Garrett Morris. I thought he did
so funny,
so delightful.
Right.
And I love the showcase of all of the natural hairstyles. I thought that was just so amazing, and also the nod to our alma mater. I thought that was awesome as well. Tiffany Haddish as a society doyen, I just did not buy that.
I think though that her relationship on the show actually was more complicated than people thought. So I didn't think it gave her an opportunity to do something that was a comedy like.
Yes, but I still didn't buy it. I didn't care for it. But the thing that I hate, as an entrepreneur, as a Black woman entrepreneur, I didn't like how at this time period, you're talking about the turn of the century, both of these women did like amazing things, and how it just focused on them. I felt like it was just very negative, and I just would have liked them to just talk more about one or the other and make the other person kind of just a smaller footprint. It just kind of delve a little bit deeper. I thought it was a little surface.
Well, I think that was what it was supposed to be. So I kind of took it for what it was. So, I mean, it definitely would have lent itself more if it was kind of a lighthearted comedy, but
yeah,
it kind of was.
I expected it was going to be. And I think that's where my disappointment lies. And I have a background in history, so if something doesn't ring true or the spirit of it isn't true,
right,
I disengage. Just like there's one TV show that I refuse to watch. I was so excited about it. Designated Survivor. Have you?
Yes, I've heard of it, and I haven't really had a chance to.
Yeah, I saw the first episode, and I was like, "You are." Well, now it's a little more believable, but like you are in the cabinet, but you don't know what a designated survivor is. Like, I don't buy that. Like that's so. I was like, the whole premise is shot. I don't believe it. You have to know what that is. Like if you're in the cabinet,
television, we have to have a little bit of imagination.
I couldn't suspend. So, all right. So,
well, I would do want to bring up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I do want to bring up All American on Netflix.
Yeah.
I actually thought this is going to be another one of these, poor kids were rescued and then all of a sudden make good and they have to move in order to make good. But it is good. It's so much more complex. The relationships are complex. There's secrets, and every one of the characters, I think, has started to flesh out a little bit more. Okay. So it was much better than I thought, and I thought that there was good that they had the coach who he went to go play for in Beverly Hills is actually from Crenshaw. And everything is Crenshaw, so you would love that.
My alma mater as well. Look at all this.
So that was really good. And I think we should probably wrap up by talking about what we'd love to see again. And what I would really love to see, and I know we talked about this before, but I really miss the #1 Ladies Detective Agency featuring Jill Scott.
Yeah,
I thought that was so good. It was light. It was mystery. She really did a good job of acting.
Now, yeah, she did a great job in the show. And I think it's streaming on, if you have HBO Go or HBO Now, or whatever the HBO's, I think it's streaming on HBO, but I don't have it, HBO right now.
Jill Scott, I'm talking to you right now. Jill Scott, if you could possibly make a season 2. I think there was only 1 season, or maybe 2. I'm not sure. If you could make the next season,
all of a sudden it feel like
right of #1 Ladies Detective Agency, I can tell you right now, at least you would have 2 people who wanted us to watch it, and I probably can guarantee you some more, but we really missed that show. And I know a lot of you may not even know about it, but it was one of those hidden gems. It was so good.
It was so good. So, all right. So let us know in the comments what you are watching.
Mm-hmm. And what you like, what you don't like. Also, if you have watched any of the things that we talk about, it's okay. You don't have to agree with us. You can tell us if you don't agree with us. It's totally fine.
Comments.
Yes. Leave it in the comments.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.